Is there any way to fundamentally, or using fundamentals to explain the action in crypto?
Well, I do think crypto did get caught up in the global macro sell-off of all asset classes. And then there was a bit of excess leverage in the system through May and June. I think most of that's been worked out. And in the next few months, crypto can start trading independently of risk assets.
We have had it posited that both gold and crypto, the scarcity, the dollar devaluation worries that we see when the Fed is in emergency mode, where we were either during the financial crisis, and some would say continued all the way through the pandemic, that all that dollar printing is bullish for things like Bitcoin and gold. And when the Fed is in tightening mode, that obviously that the second derivative has changed. We're headed the other way. And just by definition, people start. So, I mean, Dan, it's down, Bitcoin's down from over 60,000 to 18,000. I mean, or 19,000. You need to be prepared. Some stocks do that too. I think Zoom's down more than that. But, you know, obviously it's hard to just assign a clear value to crypto.
Yeah, I think the important thing to keep in mind here is crypto is such a disruptive thing that's going to change so many aspects of our lives over the next couple of decades. It's in a secular bull market, and it does occasionally get caught up in these cyclical downdrafts of risk assets. But I can easily see a world a few years from now where risk assets themselves might be still struggling, but blockchain's back to all-time highs and doing its own thing based on its own fundamentals. And that story is hundreds of millions of people use blockchain today. I think in 4 or 5 years, it's going to be literally billions of people. And the way to value things is supply and demand. If you have 1 billion people that want to buy a fixed number of coins, the price probably goes up.
So in the meantime, what do you hear in terms of the regulatory landscape in the United States, for example? And how do you prepare for that? Gary Gensler's not going to be there forever. I don't, neither, the makeup of the Senate and the House, who knows? But what do you expect down the road? Is it positive that we get some, we finally understand exactly what regulation looks like, or is it going to be detrimental to crypto when it finally comes?
Well, you have to view it as a glass 7/8 full. 7 out of the 8 big agencies in the U.S. have already ruled on crypto, and they ruled quite early. Some, like the IRS, ruled in 2013, and all those rulings are literally the best possible rulings. So the only one left is the SEC. It would be helpful if they gave more guidance on what is a security and what is not a security, and hopefully within the next year or so that will come out.
Do you foresee any, if we were to test more lows, are we going to see a systemic issue with some companies? Are they on the edge right now? I won't mention any names, but there's a lot of people that are leveraged to crypto, a lot of companies.
Yeah, my sense from having traded cycles for 35 years, we're pretty much through the worst of it. That was 4 months ago that some of the centralized finance companies in our space hit the wall. And when you have a market go down 75, 80%, you add any leverage on that, it's going to be tough. And so I think most of that has already washed out. And a really important point is, we all are used to using Bitcoin as a proxy for blockchain. There are hundreds of really interesting projects, and a lot of them are rallying and have done quite well. And a cool stat is the percentage of our entire market, which is not Bitcoin or Ethereum, hit a record yesterday at 43%. And over the last 5 years, the average of that was 20. So that's really the story. As well, Bitcoin and Ethereum, are just a bit off their lows. There are a lot of cool projects like Near, Uniswap, 1inch that are way above their lows.